First thing first, let me go get my makeup and bring it to the bathroom. The longer they don't see me, the more time I have to myself. First thing first, you're gonna wanna lay down your brows. If you're rushing, you wanna stick to what you know. You don't wanna try nothing new. You just wanna stick to the products you know. So with that being said, we're gonna get into the products that is true by me, that are my brows, and I'm gonna use the NYX glue. And I know in my vlogs, I'll be complaining that it be too wet, but look, when you're rushing, you're gonna stick by what I said, what you know. So let's go ahead and glue these brows down. Boom, simple. Now we're gonna let them dry. Right now that the brows dry, I'm gonna go in with my LA Girl Pro Concealer. I only use this under my brows. I do not use any of my expensive concealer under my brows. Why? Because the most I pay for my eyebrows to get done is $7. I'm not using my $25 concealer on these brows, okay? So this is what they get. And it does the job every time. When you're in a rush, make sure you always grab for the smaller brush. I have 2 concealer brushes that I always use, but when I'm in a rush, I always make sure I grab for the small one because your time is limited. You do not want to make any mistakes. The smaller the brush, the less the mistakes. So let's blend out the concealer. Now that your brows are done, let's start the face. Grab your primer. It's hot outside, so even though I told you to grab your primer, please don't forget to moisturize and add your sunscreen. So like we said, our time is running out. Put these suckers together and slap it on your face. Now that my skin is all moisturized and protected, we're gonna go in with some primer. And the primer I'm gonna use is from One Size and Secure the Sweat because ladies, it's hot outside, okay? You wanna add this in all the places you normally get sweaty. And this is where I get sweaty at. I have little to no time. I tend to not reach for the foundation and just go straight in with the concealer. The concealer I will be using today is from Born This Way and it's in the shade of Toffee. And I'm gonna put it in all the spots I want highlighted. Now I'm gonna let this sit and go check on the kids. Okay, I'm back. So before I touch my concealer, I like to go in with this Luminous Dewy Skin Mist from Tasha. Now we can blend in our concealer. I know a lot of people say hit the forehead first, but a lot of times I like to spread out under my eyes first so it can have a longer time in the full effect in the location I actually want fully covered, if that makes sense to you guys, because it makes sense to me. Okay, so the next thing I do is go in with some setting powder. The powder I'm going to go on with is from L'Oreal Mercier, and the shade I'm using is medium deep. The key to a flawless face is to always go in with some setting powder after you put your concealer down. So. Remember, a lot of times as a mother, you don't have much time. So practice make perfect. So when you have time, practice doing your makeup in a rush. So you can have that down by the T. Okay, so now while I let my powder sit, I'm gonna go on with my bronzer. And the bronzer I'm gonna use is from Juvia's Place, and I like to use Deep Dark. Oh, is it Dark Deep? Let's check. It's Deep Dark. So with my bronzer, I like to go on with my Real Technique brush number 200. So with my bronzer, what I normally like to do is just go around all the highlighted places, adding more color back around the highlighted areas. Y'all know what I mean. Y'all see, but yeah. And I'm just tapping it in. Another trick I like to do is smooth out my concealer lines while I'm applying the bronzer. Now that I did around my face, I like to go in with my nose contour brush and dip into the same bronzer and sculpt out my nose. I start from the top of my eye. Next, I'm going to add some setting powder in the bridge of my nose a little bit more, just to brighten it back up. Don't worry, y'all. Everything's going to come together. You have to trust the process. I know I look like a clown. If you choose to add blush, this is the step. This time you would add your blush. And for me, I'm going to go in with a Juvia's Place Volume 3. And I'm going to use this shade. It's like, it comes off very softy, peachy. Even though it looks brownish, it still come off soft, pinkish, peachy. I don't know, but you guys see the difference. It's the summertime, so you want to look a little toasty. Now, if you got an extra 3, 4, 5 minutes to add on top of that 10, just go in with a little bit of more setting powder. And sculpt right under that bronzer. We don't want to let that sit for too long, so let's go ahead and dust it off. So from the same palette that I used to bronze my face, I'm going to go in with a eyeshadow brush. And I'm going to use the top color just to put on my eyeshadows. The bottom shade is what I use to bronze my face. The top shade is what I just throw on top of my eyelids, like so. Even if you're not an eyeshadow girl, don't leave your eyeshadows blank, okay? Don't leave it blank. Even if you gotta carry the eyeshadow or the bronzer to the car, eyelids, please add something to the eyelids. When you leave it blank, it looks like you only have 5 minutes to do your makeup. And even though we do, we don't want to look like it. Now that we are all powdered up, let's go on with some setting spray. This is the setting spray I'm going to go in first. I fanned it out. Now, if you're anything like me, you can't go nowhere without no liner. And if you are not new to my channel, you already know my favorite lip liner comes from this case. No, it's not a lip liner, but this case can literally do anything, okay? So go ahead and grab you a tool like this. Dip into the color you want as a liner. I like to go the darkest because I'm dark. And I'll line my lips. Yes, I have the Juvia's Place liner, but to me, my opinion, this lasts all day on my lips. And no, I do not put this in my purse. This literally lasts all day. All I have to do is just keep applying lip gloss. But the line, stay in place. Let's do the top. And since I'm going with a dewy look, I'm going to do something matte but moisturizing on my lips. So this lip gloss palette from Made by Mitchell it gives you a matte look on your lips, but it doesn't give you the dry feeling. There you have it. This is my 10-minute quick little glam. I hope you guys enjoy. I hope you guys learned something. And let me go get dressed because these kids is already calling me.